Hi everyone. Just wanted to add something extra really into this week in terms of a response to what's been happening in the States over recent weeks. Some weeks have passed since the brutal killing of George Floyd. And it's difficult to put into words the shock and the horror of what happened. In these days, we sadly can get used to images of war and atrocities and violence on our screens. But I have to say that when that video of the murder of George Floyd became public, I found it deeply, deeply disturbing. To see him murdered really in cold blood by someone who should have been protecting and serving. It was such a blatant abuse of power. Profoundly shocking, deeply disturbing, and a product of one of the prevalent evils of our time, racism. There have been many heartfelt and powerful videos posted online since then by people far better qualified and far more eloquent to express the grief and godly response than I can. However, I've been deeply challenged by the thought that no response, however inadequate I feel, can be neglect to address the issues that really are around one of the greatest evils of our time. We cannot be silent. The reality is that for Cheryl and I, we've got many, many friends across the nations and from all sorts of backgrounds. We've got Black African friends, we've got Hispanic friends, Asian friends, good friends. And color and race doesn't matter. In fact, it be celebrated. We also live in an area, in a community that is predominantly white, and there's just not a high proportion of people from other ethnic backgrounds here. So the big danger that we can have is that the problem is out there and it doesn't affect us. I can think, oh, it's not a problem for me. So what's happening in the States is awful, but that's as far as it goes. It's in another nation. It's in a culture and a setting that is very different to where I live. And this is where the challenge has really hit home recently. I'm white and I'm privileged. And I can distance myself from the issues. I can be unaware of how seriousness and profound that this problem is as being a global issue in our times. As I said earlier, I've watched a number of videos and that really challenged my thinking, and I'll be recommending 3 just at the end. They will impact you far more than I can. So please treat what I'm saying a bit of a signpost, really, to these other resources. But just to finish my bit by saying, in what ways has it impacted me? Well, firstly, it's made me examine what I think and what I feel, to examine my own heart. I have got good friends, other nations, different colors. And yet I've never really faced up to that phrase, white privilege. To give a definition of that, it's that skin color doesn't make my life more challenging. I'm white, I'm privileged. And because of that, I have a responsibility to understand the harsh realities of racism. Secondly, to be informed, and I'm deliberately engaging with some of the issues, and I encourage us all to do this. Last few weeks, I've heard about a really good friend, a church leader in Toronto. He's a Black African, and Toronto is a very multicultural, multi-ethnic, it's very liberal, it's a very tolerant place. And yet hearing about his life living there and the challenges of how racism is just there. It's just part of the background that he has to live with. They've got beautiful young children. He's had to have he's had to talk to his eldest ones about how to navigate racist issues that they will just face in daily life. It's been an eye-opener. Let's be informed, and then let's pray. Let's not be insular. Let's pray for justice. Let's pray for peace. Let's pray for mercy. Let's pray for our friends in the state. Let's pray in the States. Let's pray for those who have influence there, that their influence would be godly and would bring righteousness. Let's pray for the gospel to prevail. This gospel is the good news of Jesus Christ. It's for all people, whatever colour, whatever tribe, whatever background, whatever race. It's the glory of the gospel. And it takes all of us just where we are with all of our backgrounds, and we get born again, and we're made into actually a new man, neither Jew nor Gentile. And the glory of eternity is that we'll be with every tribe and race and tongue, worshipping this Jesus. Let's be those in these days who have real confidence in the gospel. Let's pray for our friends. Let's pray for, let's pray big prayers in these days, because there are big issues facing all of us. Whether it's a pandemic we're living through, where the fragility of health and wealth are being exposed, or whether it's racism, this awful, awful evil that is being so exposed as well. Let's pray. Let's be part of the answer in these days. Let's really believe in what we believe. Our hope is in Jesus and in the good news of the gospel. As I said earlier, I want to signpost you to these videos. One is by PJ Smyth. He leads the Advance, which is a sphere, part of New Frontiers. There's another is by Tope, who leads a great thriving church in Enfield, North London. And the other's by Natalie Williams, who's part of the Jubilee Plus team that we're so familiar with. We've put together a playlist that will be on the King's Church Cockermouth YouTube channel, so you can access there. We'll make sure the links go out in the next newsletter as well that you receive. Can I encourage you to make time this week just to sit down, look at these, and they will help you as they've helped me with our response. God bless you, and God be with you. Thank you.